Good morning. Good morning, y'all. I know I haven't been on here in a long time sharing anything, but I wanna talk to y'all this morning, okay? I just wanna, as I was riding in the car, I'm always thinking about different things, and I was kind of rehearsing or mulling over a conversation that I had with someone the other day, and the person was kind of stuck in a maze. They were stuck telling me how they were waiting for someone to apologize to them about something that had happened so many years ago. And I got to thinking as I was driving in the car of how many times I had to forget about things in order to move on freely, to forget about certain things in order to be authentic when I share stories to others about how to move forward irregardless of what happens in your life. And I realized something. If we never forgive our parents for what they didn't do or what they did do that you felt was an injustice to you, you will stay stuck in an era that you're no longer in. You will stay stuck in a cycle that will keep you bound no matter how much you dress it up in your head. You haven't deleted that file of hurt and disappointment. I'm not making light of the things that happen because we all got some stories. We can talk about that all the time. People are always sharing their stories about what happened, and then they want people to have sympathy, but it's not always about that. It's just about showing people or telling them that, hey, if I was able to get over something that was crazy or crucial in my life, then you could too. But I realized that it's a easy statement to make, but at the same time, for some, it's hard for them to even fathom the thought of moving on after you've been hurted, after you've been lied on or betrayed or disappointed and hurt, because it's a real thing. It's not like no one wants to dismiss what we've all gone through, but it comes a time in life where you have to either move on or stay stuck in that season. And I feel like that's one of my superpowers. I think that's one of my superpowers, is to move on and give that person some freedom to release them from anything, to look at it from a different perspective, that we've all maybe hurt someone, and people may have a story about us that seemed to be an injustice to them. And if we want someone to wholeheartedly forgive us, we should be able to do the same thing. You know, as I deal with people, or as I talk to people that go through different types of traumas, it all goes back to a decision to forgive and not be stuck and frozen in time. It sounds easier said than done, but you get to decide how long you're going to be in prison without being in a natural prison. You get to decide how long are you going to stay mad about something that the other person probably done moved on in their life, honey. They living their best life, and you still stuck in an era where they have left. And so being in a place where you can totally forgive, it's like one of the best things that you could possibly do for yourself, and, you know, do it for your mental well-being. Some people are on different types of medications just because they can't let go, and it has crippled them from being successful in life, from being successful in their relationships, because they are holding someone else accountable for their own rescue. And think about it. You allowing somebody at 50 and 60 years old to still control you through the mind, through your memories, through the betrayal, the lies, through the molestation, whatever it is, right? Through being disappointed, through being let go and fired from your job, and looking at some of the people that you worked with as if it was, if it wasn't for so-and-so, this wouldn't have happened. We got to look at life now as turn that thing into a blessing. You see, for me, had I not went through my divorce, had I not went through the process of betrayal, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I would not have known my strength. Whitney Houston's song always talks about, I didn't know my own strength, and it's really the truth. You don't know your own strength until you've been freaking tested. You don't know how much you can take until you have been discarded like you're just yesterday's, last meal or whatever. You don't know how far you can go until you have to get up and be resilient. When a door closes, we get so mad. I was one of those. I used to get so upset behind the scenes and wonder, God, why did this happen? Or, oh, I was a good person. That's all of us. I was a good person. Why did that happen? Or, I can't believe this happened to me. Why not you? There is no growth if there is no test. There is no growth in different areas if you have never struggled in it. There is no victory if you have never had to deal with something that was facing you, dead on, and you didn't know which way you were going to go. If you had not been through those situations and circumstances, you would not be the man or the woman that you are today because of it. You see, it's like a person that goes to the gym. They have a regimen. Those that are really in it for real. They go in there, they have a regimen that they actually follow. They have systems put in place on what they're going to eat and how they're going to do whatever it is to maintain or to get to the goal weight that they're trying to get to. You would not know all of that, but you have to put the work in. And I feel as though some people just want to always stay in the place of blaming others for where they are in life. I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, like everybody else. And what I have done is I've taken accountability. I've sat in it, no matter how painful that it may have been. I've disappointed my children at times. I've made some bad calls when it came down to them. We use that phrase, well, they weren't born, we wasn't given a manual for raising kids. Even if a manual was given, don't you know that we still would have made mistakes? We still would have made some terrible mistakes because we are human beings. We are not ChatGPT. We are not robots. We are human beings having a human experience. And as I'm riding to meet up with my sis today, I'm just thinking about life and how you gotta be willing to release some things in order to embrace something new. Don't let a bad relationship cause you to not ever want to love again. You see, I've been there. I had to say to myself just recently, if you are closed up and your heart has a no vacancy sign, you will never ever experience even a chance at love again because you're so tight, you're so guarded. You done went in the house and closed the door and pulled the shades down and no one could ever get in, but yet no one knows that you secretly desire to have somebody in your life. But the thing that we don't want to face is ourselves. We don't want to face ourselves. We don't want to say, look, you got to get real, girl. Nobody is perfect. You thinking everybody is out to get you. That ain't even what it is. That is the enemy placing those seeds of doubt and placing those seeds of already self-sabotaging your life before you can even get to that stage. So if this message today, I mean, this is like an impromptu, but if this message is even touching anybody today, you know, when you watch the replay, say, hey, that's me, because I was once that person. I mean, it's not so much of just going through a situation one time, but like the story of Job. Job went through some stuff. Job went through a series of situations. It wasn't a one-stop shop for Job. He went through hell. And keep in mind, the Bible did say that he was an upright man. Let me free somebody today. When my whole world came crashing down, the first thing I said, I cried and was like, how could this happen to me? Like, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was out here feeding the homeless. I'm out here preaching. And God was like, baby girl, you ain't the first one, and you sure enough not the last one to go through anything. Could it be that this happened to you so that you could grow? So that you could mature? I found out a lot of people talk about things that they never experienced. And that's why it doesn't have any sticking and staying power to the message or to a person that wants to get delivered. Because those that really know them can honestly say, like, yeah, you talk a good game, but we know you behind this camera. But when people authentically have walked with you, when they have seen you, when they have seen literally the boots on the ground, how you had to go out there and slay giants, how you had to pray your way through behind the scenes, how you had to get down on your knees and begin to cry out to God and say, Lord, take this away from me. God, take this anger away from me. Lord, take this pain away from me. Lord, take this resentment away from me so that I could be free. That's when things will begin to change in your life. That's when God will say, I got you where I want you. That's where you need to be, in a posture of repentance, humility, letting down that pride, that arrogancy, that know-it-all spirit. I'm talking about me. That's when God can truly say, all right, I see you. I see your posture of your heart. I see your intent now. It's not with a motive. Because believe me, we can do things for a motive, right? We can do things for a motive, but God is like, I wanted to get you right where you're at so that I could truly gut you out, take out all of that stuff. Now, that right person can come into your life because you allowed yourself to get free from brokenness. Or now I can move on you now because you have totally surrendered and you told the truth instead of blaming others. Those are the things that God is looking for in us as believers. So I just want you to know that in all things, you definitely have to get an understanding in all things, y'all. I just wanted to stop by today to let you know that God is with you. He ain't never left you. God is with you. Just be open to forgive and to let go so that you can break free. And guess what? Be the best version of yourself as you can possibly be. So that you won't have to be stuck talking about, I don't forgive. Forgive, because you wasn't perfect. You wasn't perfect. And listen, let's be honest. You wasn't perfect. You wasn't doing everything right. So just stop it. Let's break free today, y'all. Forgive those so you can move on. I think that's all I got for now because I'm at my destination. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I know y'all ain't seen me in a month of Sundays, but I'm all good. I'm still here. I'm still trying to work this thing out. All right. I love y'all and smooches.